How can you build a good credit score in the UK? This is such an important factor when you're looking at buying your first home here. And it's something that a lot of people think about, but they're just unsure of what they actually need to do. And sometimes I'd say when I speak with my clients, commonly they're thinking about the wrong things to do with credit score, when really there's a couple of things that you can do just to make sure that there aren't any issues and that you can improve this side. So this is exactly what I'm going to explain in this video today. The first thing I want to mention is that time is your friend when it comes to building your credit score. You're never going to be able to change your credit score from a low or an okay score all the way up to excellent overnight. It just won't happen. So be prepared to be patient and have a bit of a plan and just build towards it slowly. Now, the good thing is you don't necessarily need an excellent score to get a mortgage. So if your score at the moment is okay, or maybe it's good, that might not necessarily be a problem. You don't need to have a 999 credit score to be able to get a mortgage. On this point as well, a question I commonly get asked is what score is the best score? And obviously people are saying, right, what score do I need? Do I need 900 out of 999? The answer to that is the actual specific number doesn't matter to lenders. Of course, if you've got a better credit profile, it will help. But the lender isn't looking, or they don't normally have a minimum score. So you don't have to have a 900 plus score to get a mortgage with them. It's actually your overall credit profile. And of course, they'll do a credit check to have a look at this. So if you've got any missed payments or defaults or county court judgments, then this would kind of count against you getting the mortgage. But if your overall credit profile is good, let's say your score says good, maybe it's only 750 out of 999, but you haven't got any credit mistakes, you've got a 10% deposit, then this is likely to be okay. And also, it does depend on the lender. So some lenders have harder credit checks to pass than others. So this is what we work with clients on, is making sure that we put you with the right lender based on your credit profile and based on your circumstances as well. Now, if you're listening to this video and you're unsure on what your credit profile actually looks like, I'd recommend getting a report straight away and having a look at this, especially whilst watching this video, as you can listen to some of the things I say and check it against your report. Now, the report I would recommend to use is Check My File. The reason for this is because it uses the three main credit reference agencies in the UK that the large lenders use. I'm going to drop a link in the description below so you can just click on that, go straight through, download your report. They give you a free trial and you can cancel it before the end of that so you don't pay anything. Good to get your report and have a look. Now I'm going to answer really the actual question of this video of how you actually build your credit score. Of course, before I'm just giving you more context to how it actually works, but I'm sure you really want to know, right, how can I improve? So one of the first points is using some form of credit. It's important to state here that you shouldn't use too much credit. So don't go and get 5 credit cards and 2 loans and think that that's going to really help. The issue with this is when you get an initial form of credit, the credit agency or the lender will do a hard credit check. And what that can do is it can knock your credit score down a little bit. So the last thing you want to do is go taking 5 credit cards, 2 loans, and then you've had 7 hard credit checks and your score goes from here down to there, because then you've got to build that back up. It can be really good to just get 1 credit card, for example, and use this for whether that's your food shopping or other expenses. And then if you can, and ideally you would do this, is pay that off in full at the end of each month. Now, importantly, you want to make sure that any credit card or loans that you do have, the payments each month, the minimum payment, or for a loan, the set payment each month is made. If you miss one of these, this would count as a missed payment or potentially even a default. Sometimes with a credit card, it can just be a late payment, but all of these look bad on your credit profile and lenders will pick up on these when you're looking to get a mortgage. If you get one of these and you don't realize it, so a common example of this is, and a mistake that I see people make, is when they move address, they set up their new utility bills, but they haven't changed over the old ones properly. And then letters get sent to the old address saying, right, you're late on these payments. And they just don't realize, of course, because they're not at that address anymore. And then they end up getting hit with a county court judgment. This is really bad, and it does really affect you getting a mortgage. So just be very careful when changing addresses and just make sure everything is up to date on your credit profile. If you have a large amount of credit, it can be a good idea to reduce this if possible. Look, I know everything is super expensive. The cost of living is ridiculous at the moment, especially in the UK. So I know this might not always be possible, but where you can, try to reduce your overall credit exposure. If you've got a couple of credit cards with a few £1,000s on and some loans, it's good to just reduce that back in. And finally, if you are eligible, it's good to get on the electoral roll. So this is the voters register, for those that don't know. Now, my final point is to go back to the credit report, is just check your credit report regularly if possible. As I said, I'll link Check My File down in the description below, so you can click on that, get your credit report, and make sure you keep up to date on that so you know what's going on. Now, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you do have any questions or you'd like me to make a video on something, all you need to do is drop it in the comments section below and I'll make a video on it. This video itself was actually a suggestion from a subscriber. So if you've got one you want me to make, let me know and I'll normally make the video within a week or so. And if you enjoyed this video, I know you'll enjoy my video that I made recently that is everything you need to know to buy your first home in the UK. This is where I explain the whole process step by step, telling you everything you need to know. So if you're unsure on the process, you want to buy your first home in the UK, that is the best way to start because I'll give you everything you need to know. And as I said, if you've got questions, you let me know and I make a further video on it. So I'm going to link that on the screen here. As you can see, all you got to do is click that button and it will take you right through. So I'll look forward to seeing you in that video.